Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're going to look at Psalms 55 today. Uh, in this psalm, I saw what was described as a panic attack. And so I'm going to try to encourage somebody that may be dealing with that. In verse 2, we'll start and look at it. He says, "Please listen and answer me, for I am overwhelmed by my troubles." So that's the first thing that got my attention, was that feeling of being overwhelmed. And then we drop down to verse 4. He says, "My heart pounds in my chest. The terror of death assaults me." That was another thing. I know when panic attacks are happening, there's a heavy heart pounding. You feel like you're going to die. It's hard to breathe. And then in verse 5, he says, "Fear and trembling overwhelm me, and I can't stop shaking." And then in verse 6, he says, "Oh, that I had wings like a dove, that I would fly away and rest. I would fly far away to the quiet of the wilderness." So that reminded me of the fight or flight system that is also triggered when you're having a panic attack. So in context, it was things going on in the city that was threats, and it triggered this. And so usually there's things that trigger it, but he looked to God. And that's what I want to encourage somebody. God's grace is even available in this. And so professional help is definitely important. I just want to encourage somebody, don't leave God out of that process, because God, he cares about us wholly or completely. And so, yes, get professional help, but be encouraged and don't leave God out of that process. In verse, the final verse, he says, "God who has ruled forever will hear me and humble them. For my enemies refuse to change their ways. They do not fear God." So he continued to keep God a part of that process. And so I encourage you as well. So until God allow us to do this again, be encouraged in Jesus' name. Amen.